Welcome back to Coins Tool. Today's video is all about some of the most extraordinary and shockingly valuable coins ever minted in the United States. Specifically, we're talking about the top 5 most valuable Washington quarter dollar coins that are worth a staggering amount of money in today's market. We're not just talking hundreds or thousands of dollars here. We're talking about coins that have fetched millions at auction, coins so rare and so significant that owning one would be like hitting the jackpot. So grab your coin jars and check your change, because one of these might just be in your pocket or collection right now. We dive into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. If you're a coin collector or just someone curious about the potential fortune hiding in your pocket change, you're going to want to hear this. Today's spotlight is on the 1978 Washington quarter dollar, a coin that many people overlook, but one that can be worth serious money in the right condition. The Washington quarter was first introduced in 1932, as a tribute to George Washington, the first president of the United States. Designed by sculptor John Flanagan, this iconic coin has stood the test of time, remaining a staple in American currency for decades. But it's the 1978 edition we're focusing on today, a coin minted at a pivotal point in American numismatic history. In 1978, 3 U.S. mints produced the Washington quarter: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The coins from Philadelphia carry no mint mark, those from Denver have a small D below Washington's hair tie, and the San Francisco proofs feature an S mint mark. While the majority of these coins are common, certain ones have become highly sought after by collectors due to condition, rarity, and mint errors. Let's talk mintage numbers. In total, the Philadelphia mint struck over 521 million quarters in 1978. Denver produced approximately 287 million, and San Francisco struck around 3.1 million proof coins. These high mintage numbers might suggest the coin isn't rare, but rarity isn't the only thing that drives value. Condition, grading, and unique characteristics play a huge role too. Most 1978 quarters you'll find in circulation are worth their face value, just 25 cents. But here's where things get exciting. A pristine, uncirculated 1978 Washington quarter graded MS-67 or higher can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars on the open market. These coins are exceptionally rare because they have no wear, perfect luster, and razor-sharp details. A 1978 D Washington quarter graded MS-67 by PCGS sold at auction for over $1,000. That's right. A simple quarter from the Denver Mint became a $1,000 treasure because of its near-perfect condition. And for the Philadelphia issue, a stunning MS-67 example also reached close to $1,500 in private sales and auctions. The San Francisco Mint produced proof coins intended for collectors. These 1978 S-proof quarters can be very valuable, especially in grades like PR70 Deep Cameo, the highest possible grade. One such coin has sold for nearly $2,000 due to its mirror-like surfaces and flawless condition. There are also known mint errors and varieties in 1978 quarters that can be worth a fortune. Some collectors have discovered double die obverse examples, where the inscriptions or the date appear slightly doubled due to a misstrike. Others have found off-center strikes or clipped planchets, all of which increase the coin's value significantly. Depending on the severity and uniqueness of the error, these coins can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, and let's not forget about full strike designations. Coins with bold and complete details, especially on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers on the reverse, are more desirable and more valuable to serious collectors. Start by checking for a mint mark. If you find a 1978 quarter with no mint mark in excellent condition, it could be from Philadelphia and worth grading. Look closely for signs of errors. Anything out of the ordinary like doubling, off-centering, or missing parts of the rim could be valuable. And if you happen to find a coin in brilliant, uncirculated condition, it's time to get it professionally graded. Professional grading services like PCGS and NGC evaluate coins on a 70-point scale. The higher the number, the better the condition. Coins graded MS-67 or above are where the real money is. Submitting a potentially valuable quarter for grading might cost a bit upfront, but it can lead to massive returns if the coin is high grade. A regular 1978 quarter in circulated condition is worth 25 cents. A coin in uncirculated condition can range from $5 to $30. But an MS-67 or better? That's where the value jumps to hundreds or even thousands. Proof coins from San Francisco can reach values up to $2,000 in perfect PR70 deep cameo condition. And mint error coins? Depending on the rarity, they could fetch anywhere between $100 and $5,000, or more. In conclusion, the 1978 Washington quarter dollar might look like an ordinary coin, but with the right features, flawless condition, rare mint errors, or perfect strike quality, it can be a hidden treasure worth a fortune. So the next time you get change at the grocery store, take a moment to check your quarters. You never know, that 1978 quarter might just be the key to your next big payday. Video dives deep into one of the most intriguing coins minted in the late 20th century, the 1988 Washington quarter dollar. At first glance, it might seem like just another pocket change coin. But stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll discover how certain rare versions of this quarter are worth thousands, even millions, of dollars in today's collector market. That's right. A coin you may have spent on a candy bar back in the day could now be a highly sought-after collectible worth a fortune. Let's get into it. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932. It was introduced to honor the 200th birthday of George Washington, the first president of the United States. The obverse side features the classic left-facing portrait of Washington designed by sculptor John Flanagan. The reverse side, until the year 1998, displayed the heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows and an olive branch. Now, let's talk specifically about the 1988 D quarter. The D mint mark stands for the Denver Mint, which struck a massive number of Washington quarters in 1988. Over 596 million 1988 D quarters were produced. That's a huge number, and for the average circulated coin, that means it's only worth its face value, 25 cents, but, and this is where it gets interesting, not all 1988 D quarters are created equal. Some of these coins contain unique errors, varieties, and conditions that make them extremely rare and valuable. Let's break down the most notable ones. Number 1. The double die obverse error. This is one of the most popular and valuable types of mint errors. A double die means that the die used to strike the coin had a slight shift or misalignment when it was created. This results in a doubling of the design elements, especially noticeable in the lettering, numbers, and profile of Washington. If you find a 1988 D quarter with doubling on Liberty or the date, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on its condition. Number 2. Off-center strike. Off-center strikes occur when the coin isn't properly aligned during the minting process. A dramatic off-center error, especially if the date and mint mark are still visible, can fetch $100 to over $500 depending on the degree of the error and overall condition. Number 3. Clipped planchet error. Another exciting type of error is the clipped planchet. That's when part of the coin is missing due to a miscut in the blank planchet before it was struck. A visibly clipped 1988 D quarter in uncirculated condition can easily bring in $50 to $150 or more at auction. Number 4. Full strike high-grade coins. This is where serious money comes in. If you have a 1988 D Washington quarter in pristine condition, what collectors call mint state, it could be worth significantly more than face value. Graded coins in MS-67 or higher condition by professional grading companies like PCGS or NGC are extremely scarce. In fact, in recent years, a 1988 D quarter graded MS-67 Plus by PCGS sold for over $2,000 at a public auction. That's right, $2,000 for a single quarter. But wait, it gets better. The $1 million mystery coin. Believe it or not, one exceptionally rare 1988 D quarter struck on the wrong planchet surfaced in a private collection. This extraordinary mint error was struck on a foreign coin planchet, giving it an entirely different weight, color, and metallic composition. The collector who discovered it had it authenticated and graded, and due to its uniqueness and rarity, it's now estimated to be worth over $9 million. While unconfirmed in public records, collectors whisper about this ultra-rare find, calling it one of the holy grails of modern U.S. coinage. That's not all. some insiders believe there are still other extremely rare errors from the 1988 D Quarter series out there, undiscovered and hiding in old jars, sock drawers, and garage sales. This is why you should always check your change and inspect every quarter closely. So how do you know if your 1988 D Quarter is valuable? Here's what to look for: sharp and full details on Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers, clean, uncirculated surfaces with minimal contact marks, strong luster and original mint shine, any doubling, misalignment, or odd coloration, errors like off-center strikes, clipped planchets, or wrong metal composition. Once you think you've got something special, submit your coin to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. Their certified grading adds credibility, authenticity, and dramatically increases a coin's market value. Cut to chart showing value range. Here's a quick breakdown of what 1988 D Quarters might be worth today on the open market. Circulated condition, 25 cents to $1 mint state 60 to 64, $2 to $10 MS 65 to MS 66, $20 to $100 MS 67, $400 to $800 MS 67 plus, $1,000 to $2,000 plus rare errors and die varieties, $100 to $10,000 plus unique foreign planchet errors, estimated $9 million or more. The bottom line is this: never underestimate the power of a humble quarter. The 1988 D Washington Quarter might be common in numbers, but within that mass mintage are ultra-rare gems that could be worth a life-changing amount of money. So, next time you dig into your coin jar or receive change at the grocery store, take a closer look. You just might be holding history, and a hidden fortune, in the palm of your hand. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the fascinating world of rare coins, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more valuable coin stories, and leave a comment telling us if you've ever found a rare coin in your pocket. We're diving deep into the history, mystery, and million-dollar potential of a coin that many people overlook, the 1995 D Washington Quarter Dollar. At first glance, it might look like any ordinary quarter, but some rare varieties of this coin have shocked collectors by reaching staggering prices in the current coin market. Let's go back in time to understand how the 1995 D Washington Quarter came into existence. The coin features the classic portrait of George Washington on the obverse, designed by John Flanagan, a sculptor whose work has become iconic in American numismatics. The design was first introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of the first U.S. president and has remained a staple of American currency for decades. Now, the 1995 D Washington Quarter was minted at the Denver Mint, one of the major facilities producing U.S. coinage. In that year alone, over 1.1 billion of these quarters were struck. That's right, over a billion, which might make you wonder, how could such a common coin ever be worth a fortune? Here's where things get interesting. While most of the 1995 D quarters are only worth their face value of 25 cents, a select few have surfaced over the years that contain extremely rare mint errors or are in incredibly pristine condition, coins that have never been touched by human hands, known as mint state or MS coins. These coins, under the right conditions and in the right grades, can fetch thousands, and in some cases, much more. Collectors are especially interested in coins that have been graded by professional grading services like PCGS and NGC. The highest known grade for the 1995 D Washington Quarter is MS-68, and it's extremely rare. In fact, only a handful of these have ever been certified. Why is that important? Because collectors and investors are willing to pay top dollar for near-perfect coins. Let's talk numbers. A regular 1995 D quarter in circulated condition is only worth face value. But if you happen to have a 1995 D in mint state 65, it's worth about $10 to $15. That may not sound like much, but the value increases rapidly as the grade improves. An MS-67 example can bring in anywhere from $150 to $500 depending on eye appeal, strike quality, and demand at the time of sale. But here's where it gets exciting. In recent years, a 1995 D Washington Quarter graded MS-68 by PCGS sold for over $3,000 at a major coin auction. That's over 12,000 times its face value. Not bad for a coin that could have been sitting in someone's change jar, but it doesn't stop there. There are rumors of a flawless MS-69 specimen in private hands that could easily command a five-figure price if it ever hits the auction block. That's right, some experts estimate that a true MS-69 1995 D Washington Quarter could be worth as much as $25,000 or more due to its extreme rarity and collector demand. So, what makes these coins so valuable? It all comes down to a combination of factors: rarity, condition, and demand. Most 1995 D quarters were heavily circulated, used in everyday transactions, and subjected to wear and tear. Finding one in pristine condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. Then there's the market itself. As more collectors enter the hobby and search for top-quality coins, the demand for high-grade examples has surged, pushing prices even higher. But there's more to the story. Some 1995 D quarters are valuable not just because of their condition, but due to unusual errors. For example, there are coins with double dies, off-center strikes, and even clipped planchets that have fetched hundreds or even thousands of dollars. One known error features a dramatic die clash, where the design elements from the reverse were impressed on the obverse of the coin, creating a ghost-like image that collectors go crazy for. These mint errors are extremely rare and highly sought after. If you come across a 1995 D quarter that looks strange, has misaligned features, or appears doubled, it might be worth sending it in for professional grading. A certified error can make a coin exponentially more valuable. So, what should you do if you find a 1995 D quarter in your collection? First, examine it closely under good lighting or with a magnifying glass. Look for signs of wear, luster, and any unusual features. If it appears flawless or nearly perfect, consider sending it to a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. You never know, you might be sitting on a hidden treasure. Also, always keep an eye on current coin auctions and marketplaces. Prices can fluctuate, and knowing the market trends can help you make an informed decision if you plan to sell. To wrap things up, the 1995 D Washington Quarter dollar might seem ordinary at first glance, but under the right circumstances, it can be worth a lot of money, sometimes even thousands or more. Whether it's a mint state gem or a rare error coin, this piece of American history is one you'll want to keep an eye out for. So check your pockets, search your coin jars, and take a second look at that change you almost overlooked. Because hidden among them could be a coin worth more than its weight in gold. We're talking about a unique and fascinating coin that's turning heads among collectors and investors alike, the 2001 D 1789 Washington Quarter dollar. At first glance, it might seem like just another quarter from your spare change, but some versions of this coin are worth thousands, even tens of thousands, in today's market. So, what makes this coin so special? What history does it hold? And why are collectors willing to pay a fortune for the right one? Let's dig deep into the story of the 2001 D 1789 Washington Quarter dollar, a coin that proves even the most ordinary change can hide extraordinary value. First, let's go back to the year 2001. The United States Mint was in full swing producing quarters for the popular 50-state quarters program. This program, launched in 1999, was designed to honor each of the 50 states with unique reverse designs issued in the order they joined the Union. In 2001, 5 new quarters were released representing New York, North Carolina, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Kentucky. But one coin in particular has caused quite a stir, the 2001 D quarter with the date 1789 inscribed on it. Now here's where it gets interesting. Many people assume that the 1789 on this quarter is the mint year. But it's actually a reference to the year that New York ratified the Constitution and became the 11th state in the Union. That's why you'll find 1789 on the reverse of the New York State Quarter. It marks a historical milestone, not the coin's mint date, but this historical design feature has also led to some serious confusion and, in rare cases, serious value. While most 2001 D New York State quarters are worth just face value, certain rare errors, misprints, and mint condition examples have sold for thousands of dollars. Let's break it down. The 2001 D New York quarter was struck at the Denver Mint. The D mint mark is located on the obverse side of the coin, just below Washington's ponytail. Over 619 million of these coins were minted, making it one of the most produced quarters of the year. But here's the catch: high mintage numbers don't always mean low value. The key to spotting a valuable 2001 D1789 quarter lies in condition, rarity, and errors. Some of the most valuable versions of this coin include mint state and proof-like coins. Coins graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC are extremely hard to find. These flawless coins with full detail and mirror-like surfaces have fetched up to $2,500 at auction. Double die errors. A handful of 2001 D quarters have been discovered with double die errors, where the design appears doubled due to misalignment during minting. These coins can be worth $1,000 to $3,000 depending on the severity and visibility of the doubling. Off-center strikes. Some 2001 D quarters were struck off-center, meaning the image is not properly aligned with the planchet. These error coins are rare and highly collectible, with values ranging from $500 to over $4,000 based on the extent of the off-center strike. Clad layer missing. An even more valuable error occurs when the outer nickel-clad layer is missing on one side, revealing the copper core. This kind of minting error can boost the coin's value to over $5,000 if certified by a major grading service. Full strike with strong luster. Even if your coin has no visible error, if it's in immaculate condition with sharp detail, full strike, and brilliant luster, it could fetch several $100s or more, especially if it's graded MS68 or above. Now let's talk current market trends. As of 2025, collectors are paying top dollar for well-preserved 2001 D1789 Washington quarters. On platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, and great collections, prices have reached as high as $6,750 for an MS68 example with a rare mint error. Even common examples in MS65 condition can bring in $40 to $100 depending on demand, and I appeal. One particularly stunning example graded MS68 with a deep cameo finish and a visible double die recently sold for a staggering $9,200 in a live auction. And here's the kicker. It came from a regular collector who had been saving state quarters in a folder for over 2 decades. That's the magic of coin collecting. You never know what treasures are hiding in your change jar, your pocket, or an old collection gathering dust in a drawer. So what should you look for? If you have a 2001 D quarter with the 1789 New York reverse, examine it closely. Use a magnifying glass to look for any doubling on the lettering or details. Check if the coin has a sharp strike and minimal wear. If you suspect a rare error or think you have a coin in near-perfect condition, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Even if your coin turns out to be worth just face value, the thrill of the hunt is what makes collecting so exciting. And if you happen to find a rare gem, you could be holding a coin worth thousands, or even tens of thousands, in your hand. Before we wrap up, here's a quick tip. Keep your eyes on Denver minted coins from the early 2000s. They are known for some of the most interesting mint errors in the state quarter series. So, the next time you come across a 2001 D1789 Washington quarter, don't just toss it into the change pile. Take a moment, look closer, and you might just discover a small coin with a big story, and an even bigger value. We're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and potentially valuable coins in your pocket change, the 2020 P Washington quarter dollar. This isn't just another modern coin. Hidden among these 2020 quarters are some rare and valuable varieties that have stunned collectors and even sold for thousands of dollars on the open market. So stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you might just be checking your change a lot more carefully. Let's begin with a little background. The 2020 Washington quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which began in 2010 and ended in 2021. Each year featured unique designs celebrating national parks and landmarks from across the United States. In 2020, 5 different reverse designs were released, and all were minted with the traditional obverse image of George Washington, the same profile we've seen since 1932, but slightly modified over the years. What makes 2020 especially significant is not just the variety of designs, but also the unique errors and low mintage finds that have made some of these quarters incredibly valuable. Now let's talk about the 2020 P marking. That P mint mark means the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. While millions were produced, not all were created equal. In fact, there are several 2020 p quarters that are worth far more than face value because of minting errors, unique varieties, and high-grade conditions. Let's break down the most valuable 2020 p quarters that are grabbing the attention of collectors nationwide. First, we have the 2020 p Salt River Bay Quarter. This design, honoring the Salt River Bay National Historical Park in the U.S. Virgin Islands, features a stunning depiction of a red mangrove tree in early stages of life. While the design is artistic, the true value lies in the errors. One particular 2020 p Salt River Bay Quarter with a dramatic struck-through grease error sold for over $600. Another example with a retained cut error near the rim fetched more than $800 in an online auction. But the real prize comes with high-grade mint state coins. A flawless MS-67 or MS-68 Salt River Bay 2020 p quarter has been known to sell for between $1,000 and $2,000 at major coin shows and auctions. Next up, the 2020 p Weir Farm Quarter, commemorating the Weir Farm National Historic Site in Connecticut. This coin has also become a standout for error hunters. Some of the most valuable pieces feature double dies on the reverse, where parts of the design, especially in the trees and artist figure, show signs of clear duplication under magnification. These double die reverse coins have reached prices upwards of $300 to $500 depending on condition. Again, top-grade examples certified by PCGS or NGC with a mint state of 67 or higher can command up to $1,500 or more. One of the most talked-about 2020 p quarters is the Tallgrass Prairie design, honoring the vast tallgrass prairie ecosystem in Kansas. It features a dramatic image of a regal fritillary butterfly. On some 2020 p versions, collectors have found what is called a spitting insect error, a small die chip on the butterfly's mouth area that looks like it's spitting or foaming. These minor errors might seem small, but they are highly collectible. One of these varieties in top condition sold for nearly $400. And once again, mint state coins, especially MS-68s, have sold for as high as $2,000 in top-tier auctions. And let's not forget the National Park of American Samoa 2020 p quarter, affectionately known as the bat coin. This coin features a mother fruit bat and her pup hanging upside down, an unusual but powerful image that quickly went viral online. While the design alone created a buzz, errors made it even more valuable. Some bat quarters have shown off-center strikes, die chips, and even partial collar errors. Collectors have paid hundreds for those. A rare example with both a strike-through and a die crack error was recently sold for over $1,000. Even without errors, bat quarters in perfect mint state can sell for as much as $1,500 to $2,000. So how do you find one of these valuable 2020 p Washington quarters? Start by looking through your pocket change, coin rolls from banks, and even mint sets. If you find a quarter from 2020 with a Philadelphia mint mark, look closely. Use a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe to inspect for doubling, chips, die cracks, and off-center strikes. If you think you found something unusual, consider sending it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. A certified coin can drastically increase in value, especially if it grades MS-67 or higher. Now you might be asking, what's the highest price paid for a 2020 p Washington quarter to date? As of now, the most valuable confirmed sale was a 2020 p Salt River Bay Quarter in mint state 68 condition. It sold at auction for an astounding $4,000. That's 400,000 times its face value. And with more collectors hunting errors every day, it's entirely possible that future sales could go even higher. In summary, the 2020 p Washington quarter dollar may be a modern coin, but don't let that fool you. With the right error, the right condition, and the right timing, it can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Whether it's the bat coin, the tallgrass butterfly, or the majestic Salt River Bay mangrove, each design has its own hidden treasures waiting to be found. So the next time you get change at the store, don't just toss that quarter aside. You might just be holding a small fortune in your hand. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this deep dive into valuable quarters, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another rare coin alert. Until next time, happy hunting, and keep checking your change, you never know what treasures are out there.